So here's the plan. One, I have to go get a glass that's sitting right out here. But also, we only have, this is, by the way, I'm Daniel Whittington. What a show of a beginning that was. I'm Daniel Whittington. I'm the Chancellor at Wizard Academy and Whiskey Marketing School. Today we're gonna do gifted drams, which is when a brand sends in a whiskey. I talk about it with no preparation. We Google it. We learn about it together. I've only got one in the hopper, so I don't need to pull from the hat. I know which one I'm gonna get. But first, let me get a glass. Ta-da! Jura. So I got contacted. I can't remember the name of the human, but I'm gonna pull it up on my computer here in a second. And actually, I'll talk about it right now because he emailed me yesterday too. Phil Birnbaum. Birnbaum? Anyway, they were helping Jura launch the release of this whiskey, which is the new 14-year-old American rye cask single malt. So I don't know anything about it, but I've liked Jura in the past when they first showed up on the scene. Not first, because they've been around for a bit, but like when I first started hearing about them and they started to get more accessible, I really liked what was coming out. And then there was a window where they had like a ton of expressions and I couldn't keep up and I lost track of them. And so this is a cool chance to get to go back and try a whiskey that years ago I was trying pretty regularly. I really liked how the bottles looked, and that's why I got it first. There's some notes on this and here. Okay, so Jura launches, oh nice. Oh, that's a recipe for a cocktail. That's funny. Wah, not drinking that. UK's #1 malt brand. Huh. With a growing fan base in the US. Yeah, I agree with that. This is a celebration. It's really hard to read. There we go. American community. Oh, it just gives tasting notes. So where do we know about, where do they get it from? Oh, here we go. Oh, it's just more tasting notes, which I want to figure out on my own. Okay, I don't know anything about this whiskey. This whole thing just said, here's all the things you should taste, which I'd kind of like to find out on my own. None of that said, here's what we mean by rye barrel, here's where the rye barrel came from, nothing. So the product info that came with the box, not very helpful for my purposes. American White Oak ex-bourbon and hand-selected American rye barrels. Okay. So Jura is from the Isle of Jura. Shocker, the island in Scotland. And I'll see if I can like pull it up on the screen and show it to you on a map too. But I've always thought the first ones that I had from, woo, that's weird. That's unexpected. I'm gonna come to that in a second. The first ones that I had from them were like really like a nice combination of that sort of almost briny direction, but not really heavily smoky or not smoky at all or not really funky. But it's been so long since I have Jura, I have no strong scent memory of the original things, just a vague directionality. This one, without looking at their notes, because is really floral. It's really orange and lemon peel forward. I wonder if that's the rye cask botanicals pushing forward. I'm not getting anything that I would classify as a rye note, but it's very vibrant, kind of light, medium, a little spicy on the nose. Maybe that's the rye. It's almost so fresh tasting, it's almost like pepperminty direction, or fresh smelling. Huh. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when you first sip it, it just is kind of, nothing happens, and then it goes poof in the middle of the palate, and sort of spreads around, and then as I swallow, then it starts to unroll some of very unexpected notes for a 14-year-old Scotch. Yeah, it starts as this like simple vanilla cream, kind of malty, a little earthy, and then it just goes really hard candy, cinnamon, peppermint spice, and like the prickliness and of bitiness of citrus notes. And then it's kind of gone. It just leaves sort of a simple sweetness on the palate that's just slightly dry around the edges. Huh. I kind of want more from the palate than what I'm getting. The nose is a little more interesting to me than the palate. All right, let's see what they said over here. All right. Okay, here we go. So he sent me this first, and it's a PDF talking about this whiskey. So it looks like same thing it says on the insert, which is just tasting notes. Dr. Kirsty McCallum is the master whiskey maker at Jura. That's something I didn't know. That's cool. Available California, Florida, and Texas. Okay, Jura, there you go. There's a nice little write-up on Jura. Look at that. 230 islanders, 1 road, 1 pub, and 1 distillery. Established in 1810, reborn in 1963. All right. Well, there's like next to nothing about telling me like what is there any other info. This is the one thing that always bums me out is when you get like, I really want to know more. Like what rye was in it, or what distillery did you get the rye barrels from, or how long was it in the rye barrels? Let's see what Whiskey Unplugged has to say about this. They're one of the first results. And tasting notes and a verdict. Maybe he didn't find out anything else either. Yeah, no details there either. Well, so we don't know how long. It is, yep, again, just tasting notes. Okay, well, I guess that was pointless. I would love to know any other details. How long was it in the rye? Where were the rye barrels from? Just, this to me seems like a whiskey nerd release in the sense of like, it's whiskey people that are going to be attracted to, let me have a scotch finished in American rye barrels. Or aged, maybe entirely, who knows? I don't even know. It doesn't say finished. It says matured in. It could be finished. It could have spent its whole life in a rye barrel. I don't know. And so for something to go out into the market, that's really only a draw to whiskey nerds, but to not provide any of the information that whiskey nerds really want to know, that's a little bit of a bummer. If I'm able to find out anything after this, like they email me and they see this video, I will put it in the description of this video. But until then, all I can tell you is it smells citrusy, light, fruit forward, kind of malt funk, but not too earthy. And then a little bit of spice kind of sparkling around the edges, same. A nice honey drizzled, creamy, vanilla forward, and then sort of an unfolding into cinnamon spice and a little zestiness. I will do this. I'll add just a little water, just bring this down below 40% where it's no longer legally whiskey, but maybe it'll open up some of the nose for me. I doubt it'll do much for the palate because I just watered it down like crazy. But, oh, I get way more on the nose now. Way more. All the citrus jumps forward. All the floral notes jump out. No, it's mostly, it's fruit. It smells beautiful. Huh. Oh, yeah, no, that was a lot of water. That was for the nosing, not for the tasting. Anyway, interesting experiment. It's an interesting experience. Not really my preference in the flavor profiles that goes on there. I want just a little more from this than I'm getting, both in nose and in palate, and it would be nice to have a little more information. But thanks for the dram, and I'm really glad you're here. Cheers. If you like the Jura, which is now over here, then like and subscribe on this video, and I'll keep reviewing things that people send in.